How are you doing? The sun is shining, the weather is free as always, and we are currently sat at Magor services. Not for long though, as soon as I get these plugged in we're fucking off. Okay, ready to rock and roll. Or rock and do something. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. Nope. I think the wind must have took this door at one point or another, because it certainly don't fucking shut properly. No, it don't. Oh, and thankfully as well. Should we turn you around just a touch? Just a touch. Here you go. You can have a look at my ugly mug a little bit better, can't you? Hello. Right. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Well, we've already done. It looks like. Where's he going? He's going over there. Look. Ah, yes, baby. Yeah, baby. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from services to services. Yes. We are currently in Magor services, and I'm going to travel all out to Strensham service, I think. Won't be a massive amount, depending how long or how long it takes, or what time it is, blah blah blah. You never know. I may. You don't know yet. I might surprise you. I might say stuff it and just keep going. But I've got a funny feeling I won't be able to do a full thing keeping the batteries alive. They will die probably somewhere where it's exciting, so I might as well just say fuck it, I'm going to go from here to there, and that's the end of it. Done. Round we go, nice and steady, blah blah, fucking blah, and all the rest of it. La la da da dee da da. It's great. Go on, push it round, push it fucking round. Go, go, gadget, go. Right then, road fans, for those of you who are out there are wondering whereabouts I am, even though I've told you I am in Magor services as I was, we are now about to enter the M4. Ah, but M4 what though, you may ask? Well, I will tell you. It is M4 West. Westbound. Not a north or south, this is a westbound road. Because the M4 goes all the way sort of towards Swansea, through to that way, a neck of the woods, somewhere down there. We ain't going that far, thankfully. No, 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 screw that. We are currently on our way to Strensham services. I'm going to keep repeating it just to make sure you understand and you are with us, you're on the same page, making sure you know where you are. End of. And pretty much in a little while, just down here, we'll be getting off the M4 and we'll be embarking onto the wait for it, 449. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be on the A449. Oh, I love doing that, I do. It's fucking great, isn't it? I know that I haven't put any videos up through this week, but I have been doing them. Oh look, you've already watched them now, haven't you? Whatever. Yes, it's been a bit of a tough week for a time really, but I have been filming. I've been doing little videos here for you, and as soon as I get a chance, you know full well they will be aired. They're already aired, Jace. What are you talking about? Oh well, it's past tense, isn't it? Oh, whatever. I'm thinking, you see, right, if I if I stop at Strensham services and it's the right time, which I'm hoping it will be to a point, I can have a minute there, have some food, a well-deserved cup of coffee, and then trolley on the rest of the way to my destination. So hopefully we can try and avoid this shitty rain if we can help it. It is spitting, but we might be able to drive out of it with a bit of luck. So a nice rainbow over there though. Cool. Rainbow up above the man so high, rainbow shining high. What? Had to be done. It just had to be done. I couldn't leave it at that, could I, really? I had another bash at my computer when I got home last night for about fucking 5 minutes, and I still can't get it to do what I wanted to do. Now I'm still struggling with it. So now, not me main one. I'm about this real old fucking dinosaur thing, but I think it's got some problems in there that may need addressing. But hey, whatever. I've started the CMOS off as like a blank slate sort of thing, if you like. Zeroed it, put it back to factory by taking the battery out. Took the battery out, left it for a minute, and then put a new battery in it. A new battery. That still don't help, but at least it now holds and saves the fucking the BIOS when I fuck about with that. It saves it now, and it was saving it before, so it does that. I still can't crack it though. I still can't get the damn thing to change. Can't get any online system on it. It's doing me head in now. I'm gonna have to get myself a router. I can not a router, a modem. I'm gonna have to get one of them, I think. God, that's gonna be hard to hunt down, mate. I wonder if eBay will have it. Might do. Somebody on eBay might have a modem, an original modem. That's what they used to do. I'll be honest with you though, I've never actually had a modem. I had I've always had like a normal router, not a modem. So, yes indeed. It'd just be interesting to see what it's like when it goes online, see what it does, if it actually does anything. I'm curious. It's like a puzzle that just needs to be solved, and I'm going to be fucking scratching at it until I do solve it. So there you go. Don't know why. I want to know. I want to know if I can go online with it and whether it'll actually load any of the pages that are available today. Because at the end, like you know yourself, today things are a lot faster. So I mean, will it actually load pages? How long will it take to give? You know, and then eventually will the picture like sort of like create itself as it starts to pulse in, like, you know, a bit like NASA and the Hubble telescope, you know what I mean? That kind of crap. Anyway, I don't know whether I'll be able to get any way of using the broadband internet on it. I have got, I bought one, USB internet adapter, but unfortunately it keeps coming up saying you need to upgrade your Windows as this is for the XP, blah blah blah. I'm thinking, oh, you boring fart. So I can't get that to work. It won't acknowledge that it's an actual piece of equipment. He goes, unknown, don't know what you are, can't help you, sorry. It's like, why? What's going on? We don't have drivers for that, I'm afraid. Not for this. You need to upgrade your Windows. Oh, fucking boring. if I upgrade it, I could do to like XP probably, whatever, I don't know, but I don't want to do that. I would like to try and use the what it is. It's real basic. Well, in the day probably was pretty damn cool, but it's it ain't now. But yes. Don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss. I know when you go on to go and search for shit and try and find things like the drivers and what have you for it, it just gets a bit, you know, well, they do them, but, you know, where are they now? I don't know. Has somebody got it now? They've got that one now. Oh, good grief. Does that one work now? Oh. We will figure it out at one point or another, I'm sure we will. Oh, come on, rain, fuck off. The clouds have been awesome. They've been like just popping in there, but now fucking rain's coming in. What a bastard that is. You fucking miserable pile of shite. Fuck off. Stupid fucking rain. I've had enough of you. I want that blue bit over there. No. That's annoying. That is extremely disappointing, that is. Oh, how balls. In 800 yards, the lane closes. In 600 yards, the lane closes. In 400 yards, the lane closes. In 200 yards, the lane closes. The lane has closed. Thought you might appreciate that. What are they doing here now? I'll tell you what, you know, on the way down to South Wales, I was going down the M5, and I've noticed that being as they've finished all the roadworks on the M6, they've now started on the M5 again. I'm thinking, fuck me, can't they leave shit alone just for 5 minutes? So now you've got about 15 mile of fucking roadwork on the M5 now, both sides. So annoying. What more can they do? I mean, the centre reservation's okay because it's got concrete barriers, so what the fuck are they doing? Unless they're going to be altering that to sort of the smart motorway type of thing, like, you know, and converting the hard shoulder into a lane. Oh. It's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. It just is. Extremely annoying. Yes, it is. It's a bit like this rain. Fucking annoying. I was hoping I'm going to miss this shit. If it was going to rain, I wouldn't have bothered putting the cameras on. But I said, fuck it. Can't be arsed. But it was raining down there. Yeah. Pugging. Oh, blue bit. Hello, shiny blue bit. How you doing? I was coming to get you. I'm coming to get you. I want a big fat blue bit. Is it going to be like this all the way up the road? Oh, fuck, how disappointing. Makes you wonder what they're doing here, doesn't it, really? What's all this about? I've already done about a mile so far, if not 2. It must be one heck of a tedious job, you know, sticking these cones down on the road, you know. I can't imagine what it'd be like being the guy who actually goes doink, doink, doink. Let alone the bloke who's driving the truck at about 5 miles an hour. It's gotta be monotonous. And the worst thing about it is that you know full well eventually you gotta fucking pick the fuckers back up again. Oh, that's gotta be a right nightmare, especially if you've done about 5 miles of it and you're doing 5 miles an hour. Oh, love a duck. Yeah, look, here he is. Did you have to put them on the floor making a mess? Look at the pretty countryside. I just thought I'd take you for a little drive up the 449, you know what I mean? And I was hoping the sun was shining because it was earlier. And now it's not. Oh well. You'll just have to look through it for rain-dribbled camera lenses. Hey ho, whatever. Just I was attaching the my clamp to the rail there, and it's the thread stripped. I'm like, oh shit, and I could just about get it to work. Oh man, what else do I need to get wrong? Oh, nah, it's worn out. It's old. It's had it. I need a new one. That's what I need. What I might do though, I might have a look, see if I can do some jiggery pokery with something else that's better than that. I might be able to, you see. There is a possibility. I haven't got to use that kind of clamp, you see. I can use whatever I want and just make a bracket to fit the thing on there, so I can then do that way and do that. You never know, it might actually work better. We'll have to see. We will have to see, yes. Morning when I got up, going, I don't want to get out of bed yet. 5:10 rolls around. I thought, fuck it. Now I was going to get up in the morning and have myself a shower, but I just, I was too tired, couldn't be bothered. So I washed instead. And like my normal routine, downstairs, jumped on the scales just to have a check to make sure I'm on track, and I've lost a bit more. I'm like, ew. Now, for some unknown reason, right, I know that a stone, to me, and to everybody else in the UK and this country, a stone is £14, right? For those of you outside of the UK who don't know what a stone is the equivalent to £14, right? Well, and we all know that £7 is the halfway mark, but for some unknown reason I always look at it as 6 being the halfway mark for me, and I'm actually below that now. I'm on 13.5, so I've done alright in the last few weeks. I've done, I think it's took three weeks so far, or no, not 3, we're on Wednesday today anyway, so 2.5 weeks, and I've lost £9, fucking hell, man. £9. That's a lot of weight when you think about it, you know. That's not bad going, that. I've got a bit more to go yet. I've got another I want to lose, well, half a stone to be fair. Another 7 will do. £7. Because that means I'll be under the 13 mark like I was, and after that then it'll fucking stabilise it a bit. I can come down a bit more, but as soon as I get down there, that's my goal. So about 12, or maybe a little bit less if I can, but as long as I get under that 13 mark, I'm happy. That's where I should be. Yes. Yeah, baby. I was drifting far too close to that yucky, horrible. No, don't want it no more. The fat face was starting to appear again, like, oh, fuck off, I don't want you back. You look like somebody out of a fucking monster show. Anyway, so I've got that on track. I might have to chop up my meals, sort of like fluctuate what I'm having. But like I say, if I get up here and it's at a decent time, it isn't too early, I don't think it will be. I'll be around about, say, 12 with a bit of luck. Half 12. I can put, hold it to that, I suppose, because I like to try and balance my meals out and put it at the furthest part away, like so. It's like, for instance, 12, 1 o'clock would be a normal dinner time, if you like. I would like to have it like 2 or 3 o'clock, and whereas tea time's around 5 or 6, I like to push it around about 7, at latest 7:30, so that's how I like to do it. Because when you have something to eat then, it means that you ain't got to wait too long for the next one to come along. And then by the last one, you're on your way to bed. I've got my water, so I've got plenty of that. Ain't got to worry about that now. Yeah. I like to keep you a lot informed about the way I eat my din-dins and keep me weight down. Because it is an ongoing thing. It's not something you do for 5 minutes and that's the end of. It's constant all the time. Look at that. You have to do it that way. Because if you don't, then all of a sudden you lose track and you start eating all sorts of shit. And you certainly don't get doing that. Looks like I've come out of that drizzly, pissy rain, so hopefully we should be okay. Should be okay. Well, for those of you who ain't quite sure, right, just up here, right, the road will actually change in a moment. I've got a couple of miles, but I know it ain't far away. It changes from the 449 to the A4. Actually, it might be quicker. Oh, it's quicker. The A40 now. Ah! Ladies and jelly spoons, welcome to the A40, northbound heading back towards the Midlands. Yes. Sort of splits in this area. Don't you just love that? Huh? And roads are just a continuous road, but it changes from one to another. Makes life a lot easier for us lot. See, if you look at the signpost here, it says A40, in brackets the A449, the Midlands. Yeah, baby. And this little bit of a road will take us all the way to the, if you haven't guessed it by now, the M50. Yeah! It is a dual carriageway that's an old motorway. It could do with being completely revamped, because it's just old and ropey, to be fair. It really is old and ropey. I have to put some decent in these services in, I do. Not one of those fucking non-mech crap that they normally put in. Fucking does my head in when they do that. It's like, oh, couldn't you put some decent in there? Put a Mackey's in there, please. Oh dear. And a Starbucks. What? I like my coffee. I mean, cost is all right, but it's my opinion. I'm sticking it. I prefer Starbucks. I really do. I like the coffee. I like their varieties they got. So there you have it. It'll be interesting to know what they actually put in there. Just think, if you're one of those subscribers out there who's sitting there like and never actually seen this part of the world, especially if you're in another world anyway, another country, is there any kind of resemblance? Like, obviously, if you're in Europe and you're going to be on the opposite side of the road, I'll take that into consideration, right? It's there for, obviously it's going to be the opposite side of the road, but what I mean is like, as I'm driving down here now, I've got a dual carriageway, there's trees, there's fields, there's a few hills around like that. Is there an area where you live that's similar? Not in this country, I'm on about in another country, right? Have to let me know. Be interesting to see what it's like. Because I'll get to do this and you get to do that. And I don't get to do that, but I get to do this. But I get to show you. You know, I'll show you what we do. Just small snippets, it's not a vast amount, but it's small snippets. Now and again I'll get to show you what's around. I mean, look at that over there. It's just, you know, it's a marvel when you think of it anyway. I love it. It's just, but it's a bit cloudy, like it ain't brilliant, but it's better than what it could have been. You know, it could have been Austin and around all the way up here, and then I'd ruined it all together. Like, yeah. Never mind. Can't have everything, can we? Oh, tired. I'm so tired. I was watching on YouTube the other day. There was a channel on there, a couple of lads. It was investigating old ruined building, and it was quite interesting. Like, I mean, a bit like me, really, rambling on about all sorts of nonsensical shite. And I thought, you know what? I like that idea. I could probably do the video better, mind you, but I actually like the idea, and they're doing quite well. I mean, they've got millions of subscribers, but I'd like to do something like that myself. Do some hunting around derelict buildings, like, you know, and touring around them and seeing what they used to look like. And we don't tend to get a lot of that round by us. It's not very much. I'd have to travel further afield to find that kind of stuff. I do drive past like run down houses and what have you, and there are certain places where there's a completely and utterly desolate service station that's like no longer used. Obviously, it's been barriered off. It'd be nice to have a walk around it, just see what it's like. I find those things fascinating. I do. I also like the idea of going places where people don't. That's another one. But again, that's a a bit difficult, that, I'm afraid. A bit difficult. Tunnel. So when I'm driving, obviously, on the motorways and all the dual carriage, or even country lanes, but mainly motorways, right, there's certain sections of the motorways that when you look across the fields or wherever you are, there's certain areas I'd love to just stop and take a picture of it, like, and just snap it. But you can't, because you're on the fucking motorway, so you're stuck. I mean, yeah, you can pull onto your hard shoulder, but it's not really advisable, is it? You know, you don't want to be doing stupid things like that just to take a picture. It's not exactly the safest thing in the world, is it? It's there for emergencies only, not just because you want to be a fucking paparazzi for the day, like, you know. But things that I've drove along going, oh, it's fucking beautiful, that is. But you just cannot stop. You go, you know what I mean? Just take a picture of it. Unless you're fortunate enough to be in a traffic jam at the point of time, like, then fair enough, then you've got the opportunity and wind up in a day and go, I mean, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I think of things, you know. You never know, you might actually agree with me. You might do a drive yourself somewhere in the countryside, but it's on a motorway, and you drive past something that's like, oh, I'd love to take a picture of that, but you just can't, because you know, you're on the fucking motorway doing whatever speed you're doing. If I was going to do something like that, though, I'd definitely get myself a really, really good camera. It's Wi-Fi as well. It's got to be Wi-Fi. Oh, so there's no fucking point, is there? Because I'd rather be able to do snap the picture and then fire it on now Facebook straight away. Fizzog book. Yes, I said fizzog. And for those of you out there who don't know what I'm on about, I mean your face. I'm sure somebody out there go, fucking hell, I heard that for donkeys. Oh well. Nostalgia is my name. Okay. These cows weren't here this fucking morning. What are they digging at? Ooh. Well, that looks interesting. Bearing in mind that this is an A road, right? So, unless it says prohibited, you know what can actually go tooting up this road, don't you? Right? Yes, you guessed it. Fucking push bikes. Now, if they're going to clear that away and put a path down there, cycle path, ha! Now that's awesome. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely awesome. Look, I might fucking go on about cyclists, right? And I mean, they are a pain in the arse, I can't argue. But at the end of the day, right, if they give them somewhere to go when they're out of my road, I'm all for that. What? Oh yeah. I'm gonna be extremely disappointed now. It's not gonna be that, is it? No. That's just too fucking easy, isn't it, really? Hey, if they can stick a cycle path down here for people who want to ride their push bike down here, I'm all for it. I really am. I'm all for it. I'm not totally against push bikes. It's just the people who ride the fucking things. They don't think. Yeah. Oh, do you now? Oh, all right. So, when you're cycling down the country lane and you've got 40 cars trailing behind you, do you think to actually get off the road and let somebody get through? Yeah. The wilderness. Yes. Lots of trees, green grass, an arch bridge. Very picturesque, apart from the fact that our roadworks, once again, roadworks. Yes. The UK roads are always littered with roadworks. No matter where you are, there's going to be roadworks. Brr. Brr. And once you get out the roadworks though, and you do a bit of coasting down the hill, the sun starts to shine, it lights up the fields and the trees around, and it just makes me feel so much better. I'm telling you, regenerates my cells, it really does. Anybody think I was Superman? The way I go on. Memory. I wonder what it's like living up there. Bom, 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 bom. I don't know. I'm just feeling rather. It's weird. As soon as the sun comes out, I feel awesome. I really do. I love the sunshine. I can't wait for somebody to turn up again. I know you shouldn't really keep wishing your fucking life away, mind you, but hey, if days are like this now, I'm happy. I can live with that. It's fine. Not a problem. I can cope. I suppose most people would cope with it, really. I am glad that this wind is starting to calm down a bit though, because that was getting fucking annoying, wasn't it? And more so for some people than others. I mean, it ain't raining in one area, it's fucking gale force winds in another. But you've got to admit though, as far as the weather goes, right, the last couple of years it has been rather bizarre, ain't it really, you know what I mean? Now, before you start, if you're a fucking tree-hugging twat who's sitting there going, yeah, because of global warming, go and suck a frog's arse, will you? Because you're doing me head in already. I ain't having any of that rubbish. Not convinced, none at all. Why? Because for simple fact of the matter is, 70% of this planet is made of water. Well, it's the surface of it is anyway. And there are some extremely deep areas as well. The only reason why I don't agree with the spouting off with the global warming rubbish is the fact of the matter is this, right? The planet as we are living on, right, we are guests of the planet. Whatever the planet does, we have to go along with it. We can't argue, right? That means all types of weather, of all types of nature, that's the end of it. It does what it does, we've got no control over that, right? So when they say, oh, global warming, the ice thing is making you fucking melt and the caps are fucking dropping off. Well, you know, yeah, and why is that though? Let's take a step back and think logically before we start throwing money at shit for no reason. The reason why is because the planet's alive. It's a, might as well call it a living organism. It spins, right? It's got this lovely spin to it. It's a constant spin, right? It may fluctuate here and there, but it's, you know, might as well just call it a constant spin. It's around about 1,000 miles an hour, for those of you who want to know that kind of information. Well, there you have it, right? And why does it spin? Because we've got this whacking great big lump of solid shite right in the centre, right? Right, it's massive, big fuck off boulder, right? It's humongous. What does it mean? It's iron, right? And it's whizzing. Then outside of that, the friction is intense. There's even more fucking metal there, but this time it's fucking fluid, right? It's like wetter because of it being so hot. And that's spinning. And then further out then, it's starting to get a bit cooler, but it's still a liquid form, a bit gooier, right? And that's spinning, right? Further on it gets, obviously, then on the outer side it gets crusty, right? Yeah, but that's the reason why. Because we've got an engine, right? It's the heart of the planet. That living thing that spins around and it keeps us where we are, right? And the whole thing rotates around. It's around about 1,000 miles an hour, right? Do we control it? No. Could we even possibly control it? I very much doubt it. But not only with this spin, it has also got this wonderful wobbly effect. You've got to be testicle about it. It's an oscillation, right? Yes. It's a big word, but hey, whatever. Not only is it going round and round and round and round and round and round, it's also doing this at the same time, right? So, can we control that? No. Global warming? Really? Nah. The planet's going to do what the planet's going to do. If we have an ice age, then we have an ice age. Right? The planet will do what the planet's going to do. We're only here along for the ride. But what about all the pollution, all that sort of shit and the rubbish? Okay. Right. Where do we live? Yeah, I know we live in a street, but I mean, where does the human race actually live? Right. We live on planet Earth. Where do you think all the shit's come from? Just because its molecular structure has been changed or it's been man-made, where do they get the elements from? Planet Earth. Everything has been made, whether it be natural or man-made, the elements have still come from this fucking lump of rock that we're sitting on, right? So it makes a difference. Yes, when the chemical compounds are all changed and it's been made into plastics and fucking polymers and all that kind of bollocks, but it's still a chemical compound that has actually been made from planet Earth, right, at the end of the day. So, granted, things won't decay like you would hope them to decay, or like plastics won't, but you can make biodegradable plastics that last about X amount of years, right? But when it comes to plastic, the only way you get rid of that now is you either melt it, burn it off, or change it into something else, hence recycling. But it still doesn't necessarily mean that it's a cause of global warming. When you've got industry pumping out fucking shitloads of smoke into the sky, yeah, you have one good fart out of a volcano which will fucking wipe out any kind of amount of pollution that any city's made in a fucking 100 years. What happens to that? It gets dispersed across the planet. It can cause a bit of a disruption, because I mean some flights tend to go, we can't fly in that shit because it's fucking nasty to the engines and all sorts of wank. So, you know, yeah, but it takes a while and eventually it does go. But, you know, it sorts itself out. I understand that it's nice to live in a cleaner environment. I can understand that side of it. If you want to do that and you want to have a cleaner area, pick things up, tidy it up, you know what I mean, try and filter your shit that flies in the air, fumes, but don't blame it on global warming. Right? That's just a fucking cop-out. I'm all for keeping the environment tidy and clean, but don't say the reason why we got to do it is because of global warming. I just don't believe that. That's just rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Until we can actually say we can control the planet, we've mastered the elements, we can make weather do what we fancy, we can control the speed of the fucking planet's spin, we can slow it down, speed it, well, until we can do all that shit, then no, we have got no control over what the environment does whatsoever. We can try and, abate it to a point where protecting areas from flooding and all that sort of, we can do our best for that, but whatever. Some people might disagree with me. You are most welcome to. Until we've got the control of the planet and the elements and what have you, well, no, I'm afraid not. We're just along for the ride, no matter what we do. But like I say, I'm all for, keeping the environment clean and tidy. Don't mind that, it's not a problem. But don't blame it. Oh, we've got to do this because it's global warming. Fucking sack of crap. But the polar cap's melting, yeah? It's part of the fucking cycle of the Earth's rotation thing, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's been spinning for fucking 4.5 billion years. So you think it's had 1 or 2 fucking ice ages? It's probably had about a fucking gazillion of them. You know what I mean? So the planet will do what the planet does. Simple as. If it's melting, it's probably because it's its cycle it's melting. The only reason why we're going all about it is because the fact that that's of, well, hang on a minute. We've only been here 5 fucking minutes, really, haven't we? Think of it. Do we actually really, honestly know the full history and story of what the planet's been through? We can speculate. We can chart it, we can guess it, we can do as best we can, but we won't know for sure. Right? We won't know for sure. Best guess, yes? That's all it'll ever be, it's your best guess. It's a reasonably smart guess, but it'll just a guess nonetheless. Alright, so that's the end of that. Sorry. For those of you up there who love all this recyclable bullshit, by all means do it. But don't blame it on global warming. Don't use that as an excuse. I'll recycle. All my shit goes into the recycle bin. And non-recyclable stuff, and that goes in the other bin. Sort of waste not, want not sort of effect, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Waste not, want not. Yes. See, we have all this sunshine and all this beauty here, right? Protect it by all means. Keep it clean, keep it tidy. Not a problem. But if one day all of a sudden it's starting to fail, don't blame it on us because we're causing global warming. There's not enough of us here to do that. It's too small. We're along for the ride. And besides, when all that crap fucking gets rained on and rains it down to the ground and flushes it through the earth, it just puts it back where it came from. All that shit. So, think of it like that. Smog in the air, rains, hits the ground because the water brings all the crap down onto the ground and it runs back to the ground. So. Hey, I'm just, spurting things at me. That's what I tend to do sometimes. Ooh. It's like when you look at certain areas that need to be preserved and preservation. I like to do that as well. I like that. That's a good idea. I wouldn't say bulldoze everything down. There's certain parts where you've got to think, well, hang on, we need to do something. Because people are going to live somewhere. You can't keep everything. there's certain places where you will have to keep it. You know what I mean? That's the be all end all. I understand that bit. So it's like where I live. There's the scrapping over the fact that they want to save the green belt land, which is around by our area, and stop building houses on certain parts of the land. And I'm like, well, yes, to a point, but you've got families who are living in the area now. They've had children, right? Their children have grown up. They want to live somewhere. So what happens if, you know, they want to live near home? But if they haven't got choice other than to move away from home, and they're just pushing off to another area, then maybe they don't want to. Maybe they want to stay close to home where they used to live. You know, people should have a choice, not forced out of an area where they don't want to be. You know what I mean? So maybe that's an argument for you. But look, what I live literally around the corner from where my childhood home is, and I've actually dotted around literally the area I'm at now anyway. So, you know, I know I haven't had to have a house built in a new plot, but I do actually live close to where I grew up. So, and a lot of people want to do that. But if it's sort of like an area where there's heritage and there's history there, I mean true history, not just a fucking field, then by all means keep it. If there's a point where there's no choice but you can't keep it, make sure it's been checked out and there's nothing there that, like some archaeological dig that might find something. Make sure that's checked out and done. A bit like what they did up on the A1, and they found all those artifacts up there and what have you. They made sure they went through the whole section first before they continued digging it up and what have you, and then extending the motorway, and retrieved all the history that was there. Because at least once it's been retrieved, it can then be put on display, and then they can put location markers on each item they find of where it was originally, and they can give a bit of an history about the location that way. Simple enough to do. Long and endless work, but you know, that's the way it goes, like, you know. I can't see the reason why not. We're on the M50, by the way, just in case you was wondering, if you ain't noticed by now. I love all the old stuff I do. I like really old stuff, like, you know, that's got character to it. Whether it be old buildings, houses, churches. Even though I'm not a religious person, I still like the architecture of how they've been built and what have you. I love that kind of crap. I'm a sad old cow. But what also amazes me as well, right? And I've mentioned this before, but I think it was one of my old videos that was taken down like a couple of years ago, whatever. But you take a look at yourself in the mirror and you go, huh, hello you, how you doing? Friend of mine, yes, you yourself, cow. But I mean, the point is that if you think of it, for you to be you, where you are now, doing what you're doing, like me, where I am now, what I'm doing, you have to think of it like your ancestors have had to battle through fucking all sorts of crap just to get you here, right? Your family line has managed to survive unbelievable amounts of barbaric shit, torture, fucking illnesses, viruses, all sorts of rubbish for you to be here. So you think about that, right? Thank your ancestors, because if it wasn't for them, you would not be here. They managed to survive, right, for you to be where you are today. So, and I love that concept of thinking in that kind of realm, you know, because you go, I mean, you can obviously hunt back your family tree, but you can only go back so far, right? Unless you're lucky, but you've got parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, but don't forget you've got endless line beyond all that. No matter how far you go, it's going to keep going, right? It'll go as far as it goes, you know, as far as the human race has started to exist, it'll keep going backward. And you've got to realise that that line that puts you where you are today has snaked its way through history to bring you to fruition. So, you know, I love that. To think that somewhere in my family line that there was, you know, hunter-gatherers or something, or, you know, further on that there was in the Knights of the Round Table shit, like, you know, King Arthur bollocks, like, you know, all that kind of crap, all beyond, even further beyond that. Right, so wouldn't it be amazing if you could track yourself, your family line back, not just a couple hundred years, I'm on about a few thousand years back, 10, 20, 50, 100,000 years back, to try and track it? Would it be ever possible to do that? Could you imagine how fascinating that would be? To think what they've actually gone through. Unbelievable. You've got to start somewhere, don't you? You know what I mean? You didn't just go ping. If you're a religious nut and you think they were just pinged out of nowhere, then ta-da, go and play, turn off now. But it'd be really interesting, I think, to find out how far back you could actually track a family line. I suppose royalty families may be able to track back further than your pauper families, like, you know what I mean? Because obviously they're going to be written down in history. But an average family, when you go back, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you only got to go back about 1,000 years from now. There's probably families that have come and gone and nobody even know they existed. You know what I mean? Because they might have been all wiped out with some disease of some kind, like, you know, so mother, father, daughter, child, you know, son have been wiped out, and that's the end of it. So that family line's gone and nobody even knew they existed. But originally they did at one point. So, or they may have been murdered of some sort, like, because don't forget, we might get that in our day and age, but it was probably worse back then. People going missing and all sorts, like, you know. You don't know, do you? Track it back further, 2,000, 3,000 years, 4,000, 5,000 years. What was it like back then? I mean, there's probably been family lines that have, from that point backwards, have now don't exist. Obviously, they've ceased to exist. So that line's gone. So that is fascinating. That is. I like the thought of that. I do. You never know. You might have going back about 500 years. You might have a relative back in the day. There's direct line to you lot. There may have been a pirate, right, sailing the seas, the seven seas. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum and all that sort of shit, like, you know. You don't know. The possibilities are endless. What a thought, though, eh? You never know, right? Somebody out there might be related to the very first ancestors of ours that invented the wheel. You don't know, right? At the end of the day, like I said, you got to start somewhere, right? Some caveman there bashing away a bit of rock. Managed to turn that bit of rock into a round thing and rolled it and go, oh, if we put an hole in that, and put a piece of wood through it, and put another one, another piece of wood through that. Oh, and someone on, hey, we can pull shit around. I'm just saying, right? I am just saying. You never know. We might be related to the Mayans, something like that. Incas, whatever. Who's to say? I mean, me personally, I know it's a little bit out there, right? But bear with me, right? You know yourself that we are in a civilization. Well, they call it civilization, but I haven't seen on that yet. But as a whole, it is the quietest civilization we've got so far. Quite peaceful, right? But you've had the Egyptian civilization that they came and went. And I'm on about the original Egyptians, not the ones of today. I'm on about way back then, with your pharaohs and all that kind of stuff. They vanished, right? They've left a lot of their stuff behind, like, and all their creations, and we're all trying to understand their way of life and what they did and blah blah blah. That civilization came and went X amount of thousand years ago. The Mayans, again, like we earlier before I mentioned that, the Mayans, they was a civilization, they came and they went. It does make you wonder how many actual human civilizations have actually come and gone through the years, right, when the planet obviously had life on it. I mean, because if you think of it like this, every time the human race is here, right, we evolve and we do what we do and blah blah, we learn, we grow, we create things and what have you. But again, we also destroy shit, right? That's just in our nature. We create some wonderful stuff, but we're also capable of doing some horrific stuff. Not so much now, but hey, way back when. So, for argument's sake, we might have had a human race civilization of some sort over 1 million years ago, maybe over a billion years ago, right? There's nothing saying that hasn't happened, because the planet had life way before that, right? What type of life, I don't know, but it was still had like plant life and shit around and bits and bobs, whatever. It's got to have done. But who's to say that there hasn't been life in that? Because look at it like this: 10,000 years is when you had all the Egyptians and shit like that, right? They was around some, whatever. They travelled through X amount of years, right? But when you put that next to 1 million years, or then you put that next to 1 billion years, it does make you think that, well, there is a possibility there could have actually been more civilizations. And then you say, well, there ain't no proof. Well, obviously there ain't going to be no proof, is there? Because, one, time is a factor. Time can also destroy shit, as well as the next civilization can destroy shit, right? So, putting that into consideration about the way things evolve and move on, what's to say that there ain't been not just those couple I mentioned, but there could have been an umpteen dozen more civilizations through the years before it's got to us lot. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. There's food for thought. Oh, yeah. Stick that one in your bonnet and think about it. Yeah. Got to admit though, the Mayans and the Egyptians are one of the most fascinating civilizations I've read about and watched about and what's the name, but they are extremely interesting. But what was after? What was before? What came before that? Should I say? What came before them? caveman. Well, we know that. Well, caveman and Neanderthal, and there's another one before that, or after, or in between that. But different types of level of human being. Interesting. And we all go through all that now, the Neanderthal type of thing, and Lucy, the first human, if you like. That's what we call her. But that's saying that that's one aspect. But was there something before that? I mean, the dinosaurs were roaming around the planet a couple hundred million years ago. That's a couple 100 million years, right? Don't mistake the idea that they were here 65 million years ago. Yeah, they were, but that was when they got extinct. That was when they was wiped out. 65 million years ago, they was gone, done, right? But they were roaming the planet 250 million years ago, right? That's when that's how long they was going for. But that proves that there obviously creatures were around, and there was plant life and all sorts of garbage that was there. So was there something before the dinosaurs? We don't know, because of the time. Time is what destroys such a lot of shit. along with us lot. But as the planet spins and it grows and it creates and it destroys, it moves, it alters, it shifts, it twists, it turns, things get moved, lost. Like I said, with the planet as it itself has got like 70% is covered in water. There's certain aspects of the continents, as we know, by looking at the way the planet moves, we wound it back to a point where all the land masses that you know today were all connected in one big lump. But it shifted through time, and it took a long time for that to happen. Fucking eons of time for that to happen, right? And you've got what you've got now, right? But things are still moving. It's on a constant moving all the time, constant flux, if you want to call it that, moving. It's fraction of millimeters per whenever, but it still moves at the end of the day. Yeah, it moves a lot. And eventually, not that we'll ever know, because we'll be all fucking dead and gone by then, but eventually there'll be a certain part of the continent that will actually colliding with another certain part of the continent. It's just one of those things. It's going to happen. So maybe in the next 100,000 years' time, we might be attached to France. You know what I mean? And then obviously that Russia might come sailing back down and twist around and break off in certain points and come around. Who's to know? We might collide over towards Ireland and push that straight into America. Who knows? Or even the fucking Canada. Who knows? It's always on the move. It's very slow, but it is always on the move. But can you imagine if there were, we're not talking a couple 100 million years ago when the dinosaurs were roaming. How about before that? 500 million, 1 billion years. What was there? What was the planet like then? Was there any kind of animal life with certain type of, how can I put it? I suppose animals have got a certain kind of sentient consciousness about, they're aware that they are there, right? As far as we know. They understand that a tiger knows it's a tiger, I suppose, because he looks in the water and goes, oh, look at that. Am I a tiger? Maybe. Am I just an entity? Well, I look the same as that one over there, but a little bit different to that one over there. Oh, that's because that was the female version. Ah, right, okay, so. But you know what I mean. So, is there creatures out there like that? Or are they just sluggy, slimy things? But then again, they know they're a sluggy, slimy thing. When they look in the water and go, oh, look at that. I'm a sluggy, slimy thing. Oh. hey, it's an aspect of things, isn't it? It's what you think about when you go right the way back. Or was it just plant life? I mean, could there have been sentient plant life? I am really off the fucking chart now, and the day of the Triffids. Oh, I fucking tell you what. I remember that one. That fucking scared the shit out of me. That did when I was a kid. Day of the Triffids. Oh, sentient plant life. But again, right? What was it like back in them days? We can speculate and have as good a guess as we can possibly muster, right? But at the end of the day, we don't know for sure, right? We've got remnants of certain elements that were around when the planet was first evolved, right? All those billion years ago. Yes, we've still got remnants of it. Those they look like rust slates that are all stacked together. It's like a certain type of, I don't know, bacteria or whatever it is. It creates these like rust shaped looking objects. They are really, really old. They've been here for like since the planet has been spinning, like, you know, the primordial ooze, if you like. But at the end of the day, that's an organism, microorganism, microbes, bacteria level. I'm on about complex structures that can hunt, search out stuff, feed themselves, like, you know, that kind of stuff, like, you know, not just be there because of that, what do you call it, the crystallization of stuff and amino acids and shit like that, just doing its thing because it can, you know. Love that tree. That tree is awesome, mate. It's a fucking cracking tree, that is. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 12:30. I predicted that right, didn't I? Where are you going? That's the fucking hard shell. You gomper. We could speculate all day about what it was and who was, you know what I mean, back in the history of this planet. But like I say, we can only have our best guess. Our smartest brains out there can speculate. You can analyse and test it to the cows come home, like, you know. But again, it's only as best a guess that we can do. But it does have an mnemonical amount of fact behind it, with all these guests through experimenting and trying and testing and doing this and carbon dating as far as we can go and all that kind of gumping that goes with it, you know. Can you imagine? I mean, what kind of plant life would have actually been around 1 billion years ago? I mean, I can imagine that it'll be like there'll be forests around with trees that were like fucking enormous. I can imagine them being huge. I mean, trunks on the trees would probably like, I don't know, a circumference of about 20 metres or something stupid. That's the sort of concept I've got. Massive, huge things, like, you know, unmessed with, no festering at all, just all left to do as they please and grow and keep going. Flowers and weeds and all sorts of shite and different types, even plants that are seriously dangerous. I know that we've got plants even today that are in certain parts of the world that you know, you certainly don't get anywhere near them because they'll kill you. Got toxins and shit like that on them. You know what I mean? There's even one that grows in our back garden, you know, in our country. There's is it the foxglove, I think, is it called? The foxglove. There's if they can do some of that, and that can be ground up into a poison of some sort. But you know what I mean? There might be way back, a billion years ago, there might have been plant life there that, that they excrete some sort of toxin. You brush up against it, cark it like within about fucking 5 minutes of doing that, like. But, I think I might try and shoe on this right here. Is that enough? Is that good enough, do you think? Looks like. I think I might sail a bit further up, I reckon. I'll put it in between these two. Or there's a nice big spot just up there. Because I'm fucking indecisive, I can't make my mind up. Right, that's what it is. Besides, that was fun for you, wasn't it? Driving in between the trucks. That'll do, I'm going to knock it here. That's fine. Landed, done, sorted. I think that'll do, mate. Did you enjoy that? Yeah? You're all a little bit smarter now, aren't you? Right, I'm going to go. I'm going to have myself something to eat, and then I'm going to fuck off and I'll do another video tomorrow. When you're going to get to see these, I don't know yet, but hey-ho, if I'm home early enough today, I might put this one up and leave the other ones for the weekend. Right, I'm going. Cheerio and all that. Tiddle pip, and go on then. Off you pop. Pop, 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 poppity pop. Pop, 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 pop.